And you're live.
Hi, everybody. This is Lisa and Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hi. I'm just tech support today.
Yeah, she's tech supporting today, so you're not going to see a lot of her on camera, except maybe a little shot of her head once in a while. So I'm going to give it a minute. You guys know the drill. I'm going to vamp for like a minute while people get notified that we're on live. And we're just going to have a good time. We have some beautiful garments to show everyone today. And the yarn is on sale. I don't know of a happier coincidence that could happen for this show. I'm going to be able to caffeinate. Because we kind of both got up a little late today. I didn't get a chance to have coffee at home. So I just ran downstairs, got some coffee. Okay. Oh. Back it up. When you get here, please let me know you can hear me just by saying hi. And if we have any sound issues, just let me know. Okay, that way I won't be just like pantomiming the whole way through. Okay, it is about 2 minutes after. Yeah, I'm going to get going at exactly 2 minutes in. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We had a fairly busy one ourselves. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's get this show on the road. So we are showing 2 trunk shows today for 2 different yarns. The first yarn I'm going to go through with you guys is this beautiful baby right here. It turns out that I really love this beehive shape. I am charmed by any yarn that's put up this way. This is Universal Yarns Colorburst. And it is a blend of merino and acrylic. It's 65% merino wool and 35% acrylic. It's a DK weight. And they suggest you start with a US size 5 needle. What is that in millimeters? That's a 3.75 millimeter. All I can tell you is from using it, I love the way it flows out of the ball. I'm actually working on a Stephen West shawl in it right now. It is the, I'm going to try to get this right this time. The painting honeycomb shawl. I don't know why I can't get the name right. The painting honeycomb shawl. And I'm actually working it on a US 8 and it's just fine. The ball, I think I'm past that. I don't know where I'm in the ball, but so far as I'm working this shawl, it holds up. The beehive shape holds up just fine, and it's a long color gradient. We don't have any hard stops in the color. It just flows very smoothly out of the yarn. So these are 20% off today, and you can use the coupon code SHOPSMALL20. Would you put up a banner for me? Thank you. Use the coupon code SHOPSMALL20 to get your discount on the yarn. Oh, I forgot to tell you the yardage. The yardage is tremendous. It's a 200-gram ball, and the yardage is $660 per ball. So it's a beautiful little pile of yarn. So Shop Small 20 ends today, probably at midnight, and you want to get these in while you can. So let's look at the garments. Our first garment is a painted canvas poncho. I kind of like this because it shows you how softly the colors progress one into the next. Come on this side. It's actually a very simple construction. You work the pieces in, you work the pieces flat, and then you join them and give them a quick fold.
Yeah, tell them it's crochet.
And this is a crochet piece. So you might have heard that little whisper on the microphone. Tell them it's crochet. This is a crochet piece. Beautifully done. And depending on the size, they start at extra small. Oh, sorry. They start from extra small and go up to 4X. And it takes between 3 and 5 skeins, depending on the size. Now, I was taking a look at the pattern notes. Now, this poncho is designed to have an oversized fit. So you can play with the ease if you want to make it a little bit more fitted or a little less fitted as you like. But what they do suggest is for best results when you're selecting a size, divide your bust measurement in half and choose a size with the front bust width closest to that measurement. So you really want to take a look at the front bust width and compare it to half of your bust measurement to get the best size for you. And that will take the ease into account. So you don't have to make it like, you don't have to go up a size necessarily to get a good fit. But absolutely love how you can see the gradient going across this, and it gives you a beautiful smooth fabric. The other nice thing is that this yarn is washable, machine washable, and machine dryable. Let me show you the back. I am feeling that. Now, depending on your direction of knitting or crochet, that shows how you can make the stripes run. So you can make the stripes run vertically, or in the case of the Tourmaline sweater, you can make the stripes run horizontally. Now, this will take you 2 to 3 balls of colorburst, depending on the size, of course. But the fun thing about this sweater is the little details they built into it. They suggest that you add a few beads here at the neckline, on some drop stitches down at the hem. And it's just added, I don't know, for me, it brings such je ne sais quoi to this piece. I absolutely love this tiny, tiny detail. And I think, yeah, here we go. Crystal just put up a detailed shot of the drop stitches with the beads. So fun. Now, you'll probably have some left over, and I think that's why they sent us this hat. They also did a beaded detail on the hat that I thought was absolutely adorable. And this is also called the Tourmaline Hat, and it's in an ebook called the Chroma ebook that you can download from Universal. Fun little pom-pom. You don't have to do any extra work to make this pom-pom multicolored because of how the yarn works. Your pom-pom will be kind of funky. Can you show the detail shot? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted you to see that. Just add a little bit of sparkle to your hat just by adding a few beads. Now, you can always choose to omit the beads, but it's a fun, fun little detail. And I suspect that you'd make this out of your leftovers from your Tourmaline sweater. Now, they did send this gorgeous shawl. This is the Juniper Berry shawl. It is 1 ball of colorburst. And the colorway on this one was Aries. And it's quite the sizable shawl. It takes up my whole wingspan. And I think it goes beautifully with what I'm wearing today. I really like that. Now for you lace lovers, it's lace, but in DK weight. So you're not futzing around with tiny needles. US 5, US 7, you are good to go. And the yarn is doing all the work for you because you don't have to worry about any color changes. Technically speaking, I think you could have exactly 2 ends to weave in when you're done with this, because you have that starting end, you have the finishing end, and boom, you're done. I think that is just gorgeous. And this is a 1 ball project. Now, Colorburst is a $20 ball, and right now we have 20% off with our Shop Small 20 discount code. Now, the last thing they sent us from Colorburst is this little beauty. But one of the things I really enjoy about self-striping yarns is how you can manipulate those stripes any way you like.
You gonna tell them what it's called?
Yes. Look at that. Love that. This is a tropical crochet wrap, and it comes in 2 sizes, small and large. It is a free pattern on the Universal website, and depending on how large you want to make it, you can either use 1 skein or 2 skeins of Colorburst. This is the small. And it's another kind of lacy piece that you don't have to worry about tiny hooks. And you're getting quite a bit of wrap. And I think it's just really fun. And because it's a nice merino and acrylic, for me, it's not at all itchy. How was it for you? Did you try it?
It's fine.
Yeah. For me, I don't have any itchiness problems. No fuss, no muss. And you can wear it as a scarf or as a wrap. I just, as you can see, I really enjoy it. It's really fun.
Mine's so pop in for a second.
Oh, sure, come on. Crystal's gonna take over for a minute.
I'm not taking over. I just wanted to say that what I like about both of the crochet items, we never get nice crochet items in trunk shows, and I'm so excited about both of these. What I really like about them is that they're both beginner projects. They use very simple stitches. The poncho is all single crochet. This is singles, doubles, and chains, but they don't look like beginner projects. So they're a great place to start, but they're going to look like you did way more work than you actually did. So they're completely unintimidating, and I think they're both free patterns.
Yes.
So they don't take a lot of yarn. They're very attractive, but they're also really, really simple to do. And I really like the detail on this shawl. I like that it's open and lacy, but then they did a closed edging. I think it just makes it look really finished and really cute. So, and I think the striping, I wasn't sure how this striping pattern would play out on something that was open and lacy like this, but it's beautiful. This striping works on solids and on open lacy patterns.
Yes.
So this color gradient, I mean, I really feel like Universal kind of hit it out the park with this yarn. And I'm really glad that they gave us some crochet patterns to really show what the gradient is going to do with crochet stitches, which are, you know, bigger and a little bit more dense than just stockinette. So.
Oh, and that piece is light.
It is.
It's light, so you're
It's
not
very light.
getting weighed down with it.
Because you really still getting that airiness from it, even though it's a DK weight and it's wool. So I just wanted to pop in and say these are great projects for beginners. So if you're just starting out with making garments and you're still a little intimidated by the process, both of these are great options, but they're not going to look like beginner projects. That's all.
And I just want to say hi to Naturally Creating and Free Bunnies Designs. Thanks for joining us, guys. Oh, when you see somebody pop in, just say hi, because I can't see the screen. But yeah, I think as garments go, this would be a great start because you're still crocheting flat. And I believe that is the crochet linen stitch.
Yes, linen stitch.
Yeah. Crochet linen stitch. It gives such a smooth, that's the other thing I like. Such a smooth fabric. Such a smooth fabric. So you have this little beauty, the cutest little hat, poncho shawl. And I think that is it for Colorburst. Let me show you some of the colors we have. This is, this one is called Chevron. It's got blues and greens on a white background with a little touch of gray. Gentle and beautiful. This is called Romance. Now, I think I've been going back and forth. There is pink and peach in this ball. And I think that's what threw me off about this color. Because I was like, well, what color is it? But it's pink, it's peach, there's gray, and there's even a deep kind of red in there that I think is beautiful. This is Baltic. Once again, we have blues, a deep spring green, but with a purple accent this time. I think that's it. Did I do sunset? Oh. And this is sunset. And I think it really does look like a sunset. Got those sky blues and those beautiful pinks and purples that comes out as the sun gets lower down. So those are the colorways we have left. This has actually been, people have really been kind of digging this yarn, I think. Like I said, these balls are 200 grams, 660 yards. Work it on a 3.75 US 5 needle. And they are $20 right now. Plus, you will get 20% off with our Shop Small 20 discount. All right, so we are moving on to Queensland. Queensland, for me, it's a really special kind of yarn. It is a sport weight. It's 100% wool, and it's a natural wool, so it's a non-superwash yarn. And, here we go. It's 328 yards to a skein, and each skein is 100 grams. So you're getting a beautiful bit of yardage here, and they also recommend that you use a US 3 to US 5 needle or a US E to a 7 hook. So it's going to be in crochet about 16 to 20 inches to 4 inches. 16 to 20 stitches to 4 inches. And for knitters, it will be 23 to 26 stitches to 4 inches. Well, let me get you a better look at the skein. And you see it makes a nice, I even like the way they skein this up. You know, a sloppy skein is hard to unwind, and these will wind beautifully. So what is so special about this yarn? First of all, it's got this bounce. You know what I wish we had brought? That swatch you did. I forgot we had a swatch, but it's okay. We have
whole garments.
We have whole garments. You don't need a swatch. But they designed this to look kind of like hand spun yarn. And in that respect, I think they're super successful. I love the barber pole effect. And what that barber poling creates is a beautiful gradient. Now, I've had a picture of this garment up in the shop for a while. It is a hooded wrap. So let me hold it up so you can see it this way. And it's called the Bindi Hooded Scarf. And the pattern is available on Ravelry. But once again, it's one of those garments that looks like you did all sorts of things, but it's really just I'm really feeling that. It's just a little something to throw on over your head. It won't smush your hair. And if you don't want to wear the hood up, you just lay it down and you've got this beautiful opulent wrap. Now, what I want you to take a look at is how the colors are flowing. Soft, soft gradient. And you can't really see where one color is kind of fading into the next. And that's kind of my favorite kind of self-striping yarn. Oh, okay, I think I'm in a good spot. Now you can kind of see the colors moving. Seriously? Okay. This is another kind of lacy piece, but it's one lace that repeats all the way throughout, so it's going to be easy to memorize, and it's going to be, I just start knitting and keep on going. So you're going to knit it in a long strip, and then you're going to fold it, sew it up part way, and then you're kind of done. So it's an easy knit. The yarn is doing the work of changing colors for you. And this is a 2 skein project. I would say this is about 16 inches wide. So it's actually a really encompassing garment. And you could even fold it across and wear it almost as a bulky cowl. Kind of like that. So that is Bindi. If anybody has any questions about the pieces, just fire away. I'll be happy to go back if you'd like me to. Now this is the K scarf, K-A-Y. And it's done on a garter stitch background with short rows to create these lozenge shapes. How do you say that? Lozenge shapes. Too many S's and Z's. But I think that is super fun. And you're using 2 different colored skeins to achieve this effect. And it's actually a fairly long scarf. It is actually taller than I am, so it's at least a good 6.5 feet. But the nice thing about it is that it's not terribly wide. So you have the fabric you need, but no bulk. And this works up, although it's not a superwash wool and it's a 100% wool yarn, it works up really, really smoothly. But the fabric has a nice bounce to it. Give that a feel. How's that for you? Because you're more sensitive to wool than I am. So
It's okay.
yeah. So if you're sensitive to wool, it's okay. If you're not sensitive to wool like me, this feels really nice. It just feels smooth. Now this is an interesting little piece. Sometimes you don't want a great big shawl. This is the Boardwalk shawl. It's a little tiny piece that mostly I would use as a cowl. Look at that. There's just enough shawl to fill up that space in the front of your coat. And I love these little tiny fringes. They're just really fun. And I believe one skein will do you. Actually, no. This is a two skein project because they use two different colors to achieve this effect. There is some, it's mostly garter stitch, and there is some slip stitching going on to create this edging. So you're going to have a relaxed garter stitch situation until you get to the edging, and then you'll just be doing some slip stitches to create that kind of, I don't know, sparkling, scintillating effect. But I think it's really, really fun. Now, you don't have to do the fringe if you don't want to, but I really think it adds something. But if you thought the fringe didn't like it, you could do little pom-poms. You could do a lot of fun edge decoration on this just to give that effect. Oh, did you check back on the comments? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Hey, anybody just joining us? Thank you. Love that. And with the wool, with a natural wool, it's not only is it light and drapey, but the fabric has this beautiful bounce to it. Love it. Now here is a little piece that I think you could actually knock out like crystals. This is the Eriska Scarf. Eriska. And this is in one color of Rainbow Beach. So the yarn is doing all the work for you. Now, what we have here is a actually fairly traditional shawl. Fairly traditional scarf. It is not terribly long. I would say this is about 4 feet. And you do old shale lace, which is an easy lace. It's actually the first lace I ever learned how to knit. And then you do stockinette, back to old shale, and then back to stockinette. And it just makes a really lovely little, I call it this type of scarf, a little neck filler, just to fill up that space in your coat where the cold air can hit you. And you're getting all the color play from the yarn. You can just knit away. For me, this is a potato chip knit. And I think it would be a potato chip knit because I was struggling with lace when I first started trying to knit lace, and old shale was literally the first lace I ever learned.
The green one's the last
Oh,
one.
yeah. Oh, I forgot about these two.
Oh.
I was like, I know. You never get that feeling you're forgetting something? And I was like, yes, I am forgetting something. Now, this I like. Now, this is a wrap that has a gorgeous lace pattern as the center and another edging that you pick up on the side. Now, what I like about this style of knitting is that you knit this lace long enough to actually memorize it so that eventually you won't be like tied to the pattern. This is called the Ayre wrap, Ayre. So eventually this becomes something to memorize. The color changes are happening from the yarn. You're also getting texture as well as color changes. So this looks like you've done all sorts of tricky knitting. And then when you finish the body, you pick up the edging, and by the time you're done with the edging, you memorize the edging too. And I do like that there is some textural contrast here. because it looks like the body is based in stockinette, but the edging has a garter base. So you're getting more contrast in textures too. Really fun. And like I said, this yarn works up to have bounce and drape. And it's really just comfortable to wear. I like it. And most of these scarfy projects, two skeins at most. Now, let's talk about this little top. I thought this was super fun. This is the Eva top. It's really just a little tee. And I did not realize I had this detail on it. Otherwise, I would have taken a picture of it for you. But it's a basic stockinette stitch tee with garter edges. And then there's just a little tiny bit of lace along the side, just as a little accent. Once again, all of the color changes are happening in the yarn. And I really love that. And you know what? I have been hesitant to do lacy patterning or even cables in a color changing yarn. I started talking to Crystal. Sorry about that, guys. But the more I see it, the more I really like how this type of yarn that does not do hard stops for the color changes really works against patterns and texture. So that is the Eva top. This, I'm going to pull this off because it's small. I can show you the detail. This is the Allison shoulder cover. And it's just a little capelet, mostly stockinette. And then it shifts into some variation of a fan lace on the bottom. I absolutely love that because you get that little tiny bit of fanciness. And sometimes all you need is something up around your shoulders, but you don't want a lot of extra fabric to have to deal with or manipulate. And this is where one of the type of things that you can do instead of a big wrap or a big shawl. You just want something that will hug you a little bit closer. Super cute. Now, all of these patterns are available on Ravelry. Love how those colors change. So far, I would think most of these patterns are fairly relaxed knitting. This is for you brioche lovers out there. This is the Adali wrap. And it's done in 2 colors of Queensland Rainbow Beach. It is absolutely enormous. I just love how the 2 colors play against each other. And what you can do is just pick your 2 favorite colors. Now, if I was going to wear this all day, you know what? Because it's wool, it kind of clings to itself. So I don't even think I would really need a shawl pin. But if you put a cute shawl pin right here, this is going to stay on all day. No fuss, no muss. And it looks like lots and lots of color work, but it's just straight up back and forth brioche. Super fun. So here is side A, and here is side B. Notice I didn't say wrong side, right side, because I don't think there is a wrong side or a right side with this type of thing. So you just make one color in the background and the other color is the foreground, depending on what side you want to wear it on. So I would think technically this is almost 2 shawls for the work of one. And it's a triangle shape. But the way it's done, the triangle is very deep. I would say you're looking at least 60 inches from the top to the point. And the shoulders are actually also quite long. So this is a long-term project, I would say. I think Stephen Weston calls it a schlanket. Let me show you some of the colors we have available in Rainbow Beach. Okay. Everybody behave. So once again, Rainbow Beach is a 100% Australian wool yarn. It comes in 100-gram skeins. That's 328 yards to 100 grams. It's a sport weight. Beautiful gradient. Now these, oh yeah, they do have names. Great. This one is Sydney Sands. This is Moonwind. Reds and greens. I like that. With pops of orange and gold. They didn't bother to tell me the name of this one, so I'm going to tell you the color number. This is color number 105. Purples and blues with a little shot of red. Although they're very colorful, they do not, I don't find them at all overwhelming. They're not insanely bright. Oh, is that one going home with you? I think I just saw Crystal's game. Okay. And this one is called Castaway. Blues and greens, just watercolors. Now, Queensland is $18 a skein, and you will get 20% off of Queensland today with our code SHOPSMALL20. And I also want to announce that our Cyber Monday sale is on today. You do not need a coupon code for that. We are doing a sale on our local hand dyes and some of our kits. Well, I have it here. Let me show you a couple of them.
Flamingo.
Oh, it's called Flamingo? Let me hold it up. Number 105 is also called Flamingo, and you see why. I think I see the flamingo in there and the water. So we have a lovely selection of marinated yarn and Three Bunnies design, both the Twisty Merino and the Three Bunnies design socks, all discounted today only. And we are doing some of our kits. And I don't have any of those pieces right here at hand because I didn't plan to do this. No surprises. Okay. Anyway, check out the website. We have a whole sales section right on the front page. You do not need a code for our Cyber Monday specials. And the code for the rest of the website is SHOPSMALL20. If I have any questions, now's the time. See anything?
Don't think so.
Okay, great. Then we did a clear job. Go us. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. If you catch this later on, thanks. Have a great day, everybody. And tune in for our Vlogmas. Ooh. Bye-bye. You want to say bye, Chris?
Bye.
You just